Toni Braxton? Right. I don't believe they got married. I think that's a lie. The reason why I think it's a lie because Stella not gonna do nothing without Slim being there or Slim knowing something about it.
Listen, I have a question. Who put out that horrible, terrible, bad rumor that y'all broke up? Who did that?
Your sister.
Although I love my family, most of the time I don't like my family. Everyone in my family.
Toni Braxton just broke her silence and the whole internet is losing it. Those Birdman and Cash Money rumors that people brushed off for years, she's basically confirming the energy behind them. And it's dark. Everyone used to think their romance was some odd love story, but it turns out it was more like a warning sign that nobody wanted to read. Let's be real, Toni Braxton, a classy R&B icon, and Birdman, the boss of one of the wildest labels in rap history, that pairing always looked strange. But behind the luxury jets, the diamonds, and those power couple photo ops, something sinister was brewing. Toni didn't walk away because things got boring. She walked away because she saw what power can do when it starts eating people alive. Their secret marriage? Oh, it happened. Paperwork was filed, insiders confirmed it, and then, boom. 2 weeks later, it all crumbled. Toni hit the internet calling it all cap, deleting posts, scrubbing her social media clean like she was trying to erase a curse. That wasn't heartbreak. That was survival. She knew exactly what she was stepping away from. Now, Birdman's been surrounded by rumors for years. Whispers about strange late-night meetings, weird rituals, and deals that sound more spiritual than financial. Even old-school artists from his label like Juvenile been hinting that something shady's been going on behind closed doors. And when Toni saw it up close, she didn't need anyone to tell her twice. She ran for her peace.
It was weird to me when I got the Cash Money. It was the weirdest thing. I knew they had all these artists on the label.
Right.
So I get to the label, and then all of a sudden, they let all the artists go, all the other artists go.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. I wanted to see you. I wanted to talk to you and your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster. I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how. Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking. Let's rock.
Remember, this woman has survived lupus, heart surgery, and literal near-death experiences. She knows bad energy when she feels it. So she packed up, refocused on her health, and got back to her music while Birdman's image started slipping hard. Cameras caught him nodding off during shows, looking worn down, pale, and lost. Fans online even started jokingly calling him the Black Joe Biden, saying he looked like he'd been draining himself with that same energy he once thrived on. Ever since that Hot Boys reunion tour, clips of Birdman been going viral,
others swore
but
it looked
not
like
the
a
flattering
relapse.
kind.
The videos
People
went
are
viral
saying
so
the
fast
empire
it felt
he
like
built
deja
might
vu.
be eating him alive from the inside out.
Hey, come on, somebody help me out, man. Is this Birdman nodding off? Come on, man. Is he off that dog food? Look real quick. We got to talk. Look real quick.
Birdman standing under those blinding stage lights, eyes half shut, body swaying. It was a moment that sent chills down everyone's spine. The crowd went silent before the whispers started flying. Is he seizing? Did he relapse? The man who once ruled the stage looked like his soul had clocked out mid-performance. And before anyone could even blink, the videos exploded across the internet. Clips of him slurring words and zoning out mid-sentence went viral in minutes. It wasn't just another bad performance. It felt like deja vu, like watching a giant slowly crumble under the same empire he built. But of course, his camp was quick to clean it up. BG popped on camera, laughing it off like it was a joke, saying, "Man, Bird ain't high, he just couldn't read the prompter," trying to make it sound lighthearted. He even doubled down in interviews. That boy all business. But come on, fans weren't buying that excuse for a second. Sure, maybe it was exhaustion, maybe it was the pressure, or maybe, just maybe, something deeper is catching up to him. Because that image of Birdman under the spotlight, nodding while the beat keeps going, it hits heavy when you remember how many names tied to that Cash Money legacy have already faded away. Artists who had it all, gone. Voices that once ruled the charts, silent now. It's like the empire drains the very people it touches. Toni Braxton didn't just walk out of a relationship, she walked out of a system that's been feeding on itself for years. Birdman's name been tangled with the word ritual for as long as people can remember. But not the movie-type rituals with candles and robes. No, these were power rituals, built on loyalty, fear, and control. From the outside, Cash Money looked like a flashy record label, but behind the scenes, it ran like a secret brotherhood. Every artist had to prove their loyalty before they even touched that logo chain. The rules weren't written, but everyone knew them. The kiss on the lips, the daddy nickname, the matching tattoos, they weren't random gestures, they were symbols. It wasn't just signing a contract, it was a vow. Once you were in, there was no easy way out, and Toni saw that truth before it swallowed her too. Every single day, Birdman turned routine into a full-blown performance. He'd line up those exotic cars, stack up piles of cash on camera, and flash diamonds like they were participation trophies. But none of that came without a price. Every flashy gift had a message attached. This came from me. Don't forget who's in charge. It wasn't generosity, it was control disguised as luxury. Everyone in his circle had a role to play, and silence was part of the script. The ones who didn't fall in line, they vanished quietly. Artists like UNLV or Kilo G stopped being mentioned altogether. Some even whispered that Kilo's downfall wasn't random, that he paid the price for speaking up against the boss. It wasn't until Lil Wayne finally stood his ground that the cracks started to show. The so-called Cash Money family stopped looking like unity and started looking like domination. People online love to throw around theories about Cash Money rituals like it's some dark occult secret. But the truth? It's colder than that. The real rituals were built on obedience and control, not candles and chants. Birdman's power didn't come from magic. It came from forcing people to give up their independence, their identity, their freedom, just to stay close to the throne. Over time, that control turned into faith, even if the whole thing was a performance. That's the world Toni Braxton stepped into, and she felt it immediately. She saw the way the room changed when Birdman walked in, how everyone got quiet like royalty had arrived. To her, that wasn't love, that was fear. Around Birdman, worship wasn't optional, it was the rule. But Toni, she's a survivor. She's battled illness, bounced back from bankruptcy, and fought for her peace too many times to let anyone run her life. So she did the boldest thing possible. She walked away. And that one move shook everything. The fairy tale everyone thought they saw between Birdman and Toni, it cracked wide open. Even though their relationship went public back in 2016, people didn't know they'd quietly tied the knot years later. And it all fell apart faster than anyone expected.
Can't no nigga hurt me worse than I already been hurt. I lost my mama, my daddy, my brother, my sister, my grandmother, my grandfather, my grandmothers on both sides, my partners. I'm already dead, nigga, inside. So this little funny shit that I chose music, I'm not tripping. No, nobody won't see nobody die anyway. So I ain't tripping, brother. If that real, let's go bozo about it. Let's see who gonna kill and who gonna die, who real and who fake. But besides that, I ain't trying to do that shit, bro. I'm not trying to do it. I'm already damaged. I was born damaged. So this shit here is sweet to me. I chose a music business, and this shit's supposed to be all about money. If a nigga not thinking money with this shit, they tripping. And that's why a lot of them get inflicted. And, you know, it took me a long time to get where I'm at. Because when I was young, I was thinking like these youngsters, bro. We got the big guns with all the money. We doing all that shit. Except we didn't have social media.
Just 2 days after saying, I do, Toni filed for divorce, calling it an irretrievably broken union. By early 2025, she withdrew the paperwork, but fans noticed the signs. The missing posts, the cold silence, the deleted couple photos. Then, Birdman took it online. He started throwing shade, accusing Toni of cashing out on him, calling her a gold digger, and even claiming she pawned her engagement ring while demanding a $160 million payout. Once that drama hit the gossip blogs and live stream reactions, it was chaos. Fans split into camps, Team Toni versus Team Birdman, and suddenly the internet turned their breakup into a full-blown culture war. In the world of hip-hop and R&B, loyalty was being tested and the lines were officially drawn. Birdman's reputation took a serious beating once the media got hold of the story. The R&B and pop world started painting him as manipulative and controlling. But in the trap and southern rap circles, that same never-back-down attitude only boosted his image as a boss who don't fold under pressure. It's wild. Even when the world turned on him, some still saw him as the symbol of power and hustle. Money-wise, Birdman stayed slick. Since Toni's divorce filings got dismissed, he dodged major financial damage. But Toni wasn't so lucky. At first, she had the crowd behind her. Everyone felt for her, especially with her past health battles. But once that $160 million claim and the missing $5 million ring hit headlines, people started side-eyeing. Old bankruptcy stories came crawling back, and suddenly brands started pausing their deals with her. Still, the drama pushed her classic songs back up the streaming charts and gave her documentary about women and financial freedom a second life.
Oh, y'all so cute. Look at that.
I'm still a gangster.
Doesn't matter. It's okay to be soft every now and then.
Why would I have to be soft?
It's putting your guards down because you with the woman that you love.
But I don't have to put my guard down.
With the woman that you love.
So to be with the woman I love, I got to put my guard down?
Yeah, you have to.
No.
He's always been aloof. He doesn't like people knowing about him. And I always tell him, babe, you need to change the narrative. Because people don't know the gentle side. He's really a gentle giant. I don't think people know that about him. He's very sincere and heartwarming. He's a really great guy.
Every woman don't want that hard side all the time.
She complains on the low?
I don't know anything.
You over speaking, so you must know something.
I can always overspeak because that's what I'm going to do.
She happy. I ain't got money because I'm going to make sure of that. So what's the problem with you and me?
But the storm didn't stop with them. Cash Money Records itself took a hit. The cracks inside the empire started showing, and Birdman's shaky relationship with his own legacy artists became impossible to hide. Mid-tier acts and even producers connected to Lil Wayne's Young Money began freezing collabs with any artist under Birdman's wing once the feud went public. The family image? Gone. Yet in true Birdman fashion, he flipped the whole mess into marketing. He started using the chaos to fuel promotion for Rich Gang releases, turning every headline and tabloid scandal into free publicity. Streams shot up because people wanted to hear what the drama sounded like. And somehow, the man still kept control of Cash Money. But at a cost. His cultural goodwill, completely gone. Toni walked away with her dignity, a wave of sympathy and fresh attention, even if people questioned whether her moves were pure or planned. One thing's for sure, the old Cash Money alliance, it's finished for good. Now let's talk about the money, because the financial rituals inside Cash Money have been legendary for decades. Even Jadakiss once joked about it on stage, saying, "I love Bird, but them contracts, different." He wasn't lying.
The guy that don't pay the producers to the last minute. Oh, let me stop. I love Birdman.
Sure, Cash Money shaped the entire Southern hip-hop wave and birthed legends, but behind the diamonds and Rolls Royces was a system built to trap people financially. For years, artists complained that their advance money never fully arrived or came in as loans they could never repay. Most didn't even realize their deals were written in ways that kept Birdman holding all the cards. One of the most shocking moments came when Turk's $10 million lawsuit exposed how his teenage contract was handled, with a lawyer representing both him and the label. That's not a mistake. That's strategy. Every deal, every signature, every dollar moved one direction, straight into Cash Money's control. Lil Wayne's 2017 war with Cash Money wasn't just a label dispute. It was a full-blown rebellion. He went straight for Birdman's empire, accusing both Cash Money and Universal of secretly playing games with his streaming money and publishing rights. According to his suit, the numbers didn't add up. Millions were missing. Wayne claimed the label was rerouting profits and stalling his payouts until he had no choice but to settle for less than he actually earned. That wasn't a business disagreement. That was chess played with people's livelihoods. Birdman, like Suge Knight before him, had his own way of keeping control. Instead of giving artists the money they truly earned, he'd flash cars, chains, and watches as symbolic payments. You might have gotten a Lambo, but your royalties, gone. That move wasn't generosity, it was strategy. It kept artists locked into the label for years, long after the hype faded and their contracts turned into shackles.
I never allowed none of the labels to own nothing. I own everything.
Universal.
No, Universal never owned nothing. How long I've been telling you about NBA Youngboy?
No, that's a long time.
How long I've been telling you about Lil Blood?
Hey,
real.
yo, I'm gonna be honest with you.
How long I've been telling you about Lil Blood?
Hey, we gotta do another
How
interview.
long I've been telling you about Lil Blood?
You told me he was the greatest.
Way back then, bro.
You told me he was the greatest.
Man, I've been told you about Lil Blood.
I ain't gonna lie. And we never even put this interview out. Bird told me, he said this little nigga gonna be the greatest ever. And I named a couple people. I couldn't believe you said.
And you ain't believe me.
I ain't believe you.
You ain't believe me.
I ain't believe you.
You ain't believe me.
Because here's the thing. I know he impactful, but the people we compare him to hit them heights. Like at that point, I ain't even see, like, I'm like, maybe he's not an arena show artist here. Or maybe they won't accept him to do the arena.
Didn't believe what I believed in back then.
But that's why you...
The real game started way back in 1998 when Cash Money struck that famous deal with Universal. An 80-20 profit split in favor of the label. That deal made history, but it also created the playbook Birdman used to control his roster. No one owned their masters, and trying to get a royalty statement was like chasing smoke. Universal didn't technically own Cash Money, but they held the power to pull strings when needed. Early insiders like Wendy Day, who helped negotiate that deal, later revealed she never got the money she was promised. Birdman's legendary quote became the label's unofficial motto: "Sue me when I have to pay you." You'll get paid. It sounds bold, until you realize it meant nobody got paid unless they fought him in court. Behind the scenes, Universal reportedly helped Cash Money clear its debts in exchange for more control over distribution, flipping unpaid artist profits into corporate leverage. That's where the term ghost royalties came from. Money meant for artists quietly redirected to higher-ups. If you played by the rules, you got gifts, Lambos, and front row seats. But if you spoke out, late checks, shelved albums, or being blacklisted became your reality. Meanwhile, the public only saw the glam, the helicopters, the champagne, the island vacations. It was all smoke and mirrors. By 2025, insiders started calling Cash Money a medieval label model, one where Birdman and Slim ruled like kings and everyone else was bound by loyalty instead of contracts. Younger stars like Jacquees even pledged near lifelong allegiance, calling Birdman family. But behind that loyalty was pressure, not choice. These weren't dark magic rituals, they were financial ones, habits built over decades that turned money into power and control. And that's when some of the biggest names in the game decided they'd had enough. Quietly, they started making moves behind Birdman's back, setting the stage for a shakeup that could finally expose the system he built. Low-key or not, the tension inside the Cash Money family hit a boiling point in 2025. Everybody felt it. The energy was off, the smiles were fake, and every artist had their own quiet agenda. Some stayed silent to protect their bags, while others decided it was time to make their move. And when the cracks finally showed, it wasn't small. It was explosive. Lil Wayne, who'd been simmering with Birdman for years, made it crystal clear. The peace treaty was over. During the Hot Boys reunion tour, Birdman tried hyping the crowd mid-speech, but Wayne and the crew just walked off stage. Cameras caught it all, and the clip went viral instantly. Fans knew exactly what that meant. No more pretending. The forgiveness from their 2018 settlement had officially expired. A few weeks earlier, Wayne had already given us a preview of that tension at Lil Louisiana Fest 2025 when he cut Birdman off mid-intro. Birdman was trying to dedicate a moment to his late mom, Ms. Gladys, but Wayne didn't even let him finish. That was more than disrespect. It was a message. All those old wounds, unpaid checks, and broken promises, Wayne was done playing nice. He was reclaiming his lane, his freedom, and his legacy. No more puppet strings. Juvenile, on the other hand, took a smoother route. Always the diplomat, he kept things professional, but couldn't hide his frustration. On the Cash Money Millionaire's 30th anniversary tour, he publicly called out Birdman's booking team for underpaying or flat out excluding Turk, one of the original Hot Boys. He even admitted it felt wrong, putting him between loyalty and doing right by my people. That's heavy. By summer, Juvenile shifted focus, channeling the frustration into new music instead of beef. You could tell he respected the history but wasn't blind to the game being played. Then there's Drake, the one who always moves in silence but hits loud. Kadot might have called him a snake, but you can't deny Drake's always 3 steps ahead. While he never dissed Birdman publicly, insiders say he was quietly building his own empire behind the scenes. His 2025 lawsuit against Universal, Birdman's main distribution plug, wasn't personal, it was business. It showed Drake was thinking beyond Cash Money, setting up his independence while still using the connection when it made sense. That's chess, not checkers. Nicki Minaj? She played her part like a queen. Birdman went on interviews bragging that Cash Money had made over $2 billion off Wayne, Drake, and Nicki combined, claiming he paid them handsomely. But Nicki? She never confirmed, never denied. She just kept dropping music under her own imprints and distribution setups, not through Birdman's system. She kept the respect, stayed out the fire, and let her silence do the talking. By the end of 2025, the big 3, Wayne, Drake, and Nicki, weren't really Birdman's anymore. Wayne was walking off stages. Juvenile was balancing loyalty with truth. Drake was playing power games in court, and Nicki was running her own empire quietly. The dynasty that once moved like a single unit now looked like a broken crown, each jewel shining on its own, but no longer held together by Birdman's grip. Loyalty only lasts so long, and by 2025, the artists under Cash Money had finally hit their breaking point. Behind those glossy videos and flashy chains, whispers were getting louder. Lawsuits being drafted, exits being planned, and new alliances forming in silence. The empire that once looked untouchable was cracking fast, and everyone watching knew the next move could flip Birdman's whole world upside down. Cash Money's studios and tours had turned into ground zero for chaos. What used to be a creative space now felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode. The tension behind the scenes wasn't staying private anymore. It was spilling out through leaked footage, messy live moments, and shady tweets. Fans couldn't get enough. The drama was feeding hip-hop's obsession with conflict. And as usual, Cash Money gave them a front-row seat to the storm. Inside the studio, control was Birdman's favorite weapon. He called every shot, from who got featured to which songs even made it to release. If an artist dared to step out of line, whole albums vanished overnight. That's not exaggeration. Leaks started dropping, showing real on-mic blow-ups between Birdman and Lil Wayne during group sessions. They clashed over track lists, royalties, even who owned which verse. The tension was thick, the shouting was raw, but Wayne wasn't backing down this time. Meanwhile, Drake and Nicki Minaj were playing it smart. They avoided Birdman sessions altogether, recording their verses separately and sending them in from a distance. It wasn't about ego, it was survival. By keeping things remote, they dodged the chaos while still keeping their music pipeline open. Fans started noticing how Drake's features felt disconnected from the rest of the Cash Money roster. Now we know why, but the real mess was on tour. The 2025 Cash Money Millionaire's 30th anniversary tour was supposed to be a celebration of legacy. Instead, it turned into a traveling circus of canceled shows, last-minute lineup changes, and pure confusion. One major concert even got axed at the very last minute, with vague scheduling issues being blamed. But insiders say it was deeper. Internal feuds, broken communication, and Birdman's tight-fisted control made it impossible to keep the show running smooth. Fans started putting 2 and 2 together. They could feel the tension every time Birdman and Wayne shared the same stage. During the Hot Boys segment, the breaking point finally came. Birdman grabbed the mic mid-show, trying to speak to the crowd, and Wayne cut him off cold right there in front of thousands. Cameras caught every second of it. That wasn't just a moment, that was a declaration. The old brotherhood was dead, and Wayne made sure the world knew it. Missed arrivals, ghosted appearances, and sudden lineup swaps turned every show into an unpredictable spectacle. Nobody knew who'd actually show up or who'd walk off mid-set. Fans called it the most chaotic tour ever, and they weren't wrong. The music still hit, but the energy, it was explosive. Loyalty came with strings, and those strings were snapping one by one live on stage. Every move, every glance, every post, it all meant something now. The Cash Money world had turned into a living soap opera, and the audience couldn't look away. Behind the scenes, it wasn't just music anymore, it was mind games. Every like, every unfollow, every emoji comment became a coded message, and fans were decoding it like detectives. Backstage, tension was spilling into the business world too. The fallout was loud. Sponsors started pulling back, whispering that the label had become too unpredictable. Major brands didn't want their names tied to canceled shows, viral fights, or mic-snatching moments. What once looked like a billion-dollar empire now felt like a powder keg ready to blow at any second. But for the hardcore fans, that's exactly what kept them hooked. The chaos became the culture. Every on-stage stare down, every cryptic caption, every tweet felt like a clue to a bigger story unfolding right in front of them. They weren't just watching a label, they were watching a legacy unravel in real time. From the studios to the stages and all the way to social media, the Cash Money spectacle became one of the wildest shows hip-hop ever produced. Loyalty, betrayal, power, and pride all colliding in front of millions of eyes. And even now, people are still arguing over who really won. But what do you think? Was this just karma catching up or the cost of too much control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share it with your crew, and make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest celebrity drama. And don't go anywhere. The next video popping up on your screen digs even deeper into the next shocking twist in the game. See you there.